Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today I'm taking you to Cuba with me. So I just came back from Cuba, and we did a bunch of different activities. We went to 2 different tobacco farms that grow the tobacco for the Cuban cigars. The second day, we went to a bigger farm that they did more of an experience, and so we sat through a cigar rolling class, basically. And that's basically this video. So hopefully that's interesting for you. I try to edit it a little bit shorter than the actual class itself. But it was pretty cool. Figured I recorded the whole thing so you guys can see what it's like to be on a Cuban farm and learning how to roll a Cuban cigar. So hope you guys enjoy. See ya.
It's essential to know that from the leaf, the most of the nicotine is in the central vein. After you do the whole fermentation, the curing process, the fever, they still have lots of nicotine here. So to make a good cigar,
Check that out.
after the whole process, you're going to use those veins into water, and then you can spray your plantations with this liquid. That's
The pesticide.
It's an insecticide. You can notice that in some leaves, bugs that are eating the leaves. You see there's holes they ate here. But if you try to remove the vein, it's always perfect. They don't like it. So don't smoke it. Well, cigarette smokers.
If it's not good enough for bugs, it's probably not good enough for you.
So here you can notice there are different colors of leaves. So it means different positions of the plant. The darker leaves, they are on the top. They burn the most by the sunshine. And like that it goes. So to make a good cigar, you need to make a mix of all of them. If you know the combinations, you can make lighter to stronger cigars. That's all it takes. So, before I start rolling cigars, would you like to smoke one?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, while you're rolling it?
They had a question yesterday that they haven't asked because they forget things, but I remember.
We call it stupid right in front of people?
We were reading the book, and the book said that usually when they are placing the leaves on the poles, they have to be placed facing the underside. But they were wondering because the upper side sticks to the other one, if at the end the other leaves next to them don't stick.
So, when you place the leaves inside the drying house, the poles, they should have space. Not just because they can stick together, because the air needs to flow to dry. If you let them too close, the oil you get in the tobacco leaf, plus the humidity, the water you get in the green leaves will make them rot. So they need space, not to be too close. Even in the same pole, you cannot charge too much. You cannot load too much the pole. You need to put about 120 pairs of leaves. So in a piece of stick, you get a pair of leaves. 120 sticks you can place in one pole. Because if you put more, if you load it too much, the leaves are going to be in the same pole. They're going to be together, and you will lose the whole crop.
So it doesn't matter which way they're facing. So it doesn't matter which way they're like on there, like you said.
No, it matters to face the underside, but the other two sides of the other leaves next to it needs to have a
little more space.
They need to have space.
¿Cuánto más?
A couple of millimeters, not even a centimeter.
Not a lot.
But they need to be separated. They always will hang the same direction because the leaves, you see the veins. You can see easily the vein from underneath. And even the same plant you have, the same leaf, you have 2 different colors. The one that was burned by the sunshine on top and the one that was in shade like this. So the same leaf and the other side, when you hang it on the stick, they come the outside. The downside is going to be exposed, always exposed.
Thank you.
Now, should I punch it?
Yeah.
You want punch or vagina? Did you bring vaginas?
No, bro.
No.
Or if you want to use a cutter.
How long are those aged for?
These ones,
Yeah.
they are fresh cigars. All of them here, they are like 5 months. But in Cuba, the weather is not the best to age cigars. The best weather to age a cigar is winter. It's cold, dry. That's a good weather for cigars. But for the consumption and for the aging, for the preservation, Cuba is the best place. Cuba is like a big humidor. You don't have the best place to smoke in the best place to preserve. That's why humidors were invented.
I'm gonna cry.
Because you need to take them to
You are
winter
evil.
countries, but then you cannot preserve them too long in winter countries.
That's evil. No, that's a camera. I'm gonna put that in my YouTube video. This motherfucker called me evil and stupid. You son of a bitch.
These mini ones, I like these mini ones.
Yeah, they are. These are the ones we give to taste here. Most of the clients are non-smokers. As you can see, they're not perfect shape. They were made by beginners. So when we finish the rolling season, when the professionals they finish rolling their cigars, some people here in the area they come to learn to roll cigars, and then we just let them the possibility to try with the leftovers. These leaves are made with the leftovers. The cigars, sorry, are made with the leftovers, and these are the ones we give to most of the clients that come around. Of course, not in your case. You can keep on. You can light some more. I have some more here to light.
Oh, yes.
You have to share.
Oh, I wasn't sharing. I was putting it in the camera.
Like,
So the light is there.
oh, that's a big one. You want a bigger one?
And there's also
You want straight? Oh, want straight cut?
You have a smaller one? That's a big one.
let me ask my friend here. Yo le pide que cambie este por uno de los cañonazos que dio ahora, no este
He needs a smaller one. Because he'll smoke that shit for
I'll be here
$5.
for a year.
Very slow smoker.
I smoke very slow.
So, you like a small Robusto or something like this?
You know, maybe. Yeah.
He's a slow smoker.
Okay.
Yeah, salute.
Good.
Mira, que te dé un robustico.
Cheers, boys.
Sí, que te dé un robustico de...
So cute. You toasting with your left hand.
Oh, he's the worst one so far, but that's why he's
Today.
the one that did the salute
My
first.
brain cells back.
So, when making cigars, very important thing to know. The tip of your leaf, this area here, is the thinnest part of the leaf. So, you need to place them always in the same direction. There, pointing there.
Which would be the foot of the cigar?
It will be the beginning, so you're gonna start the fire in this area.
Yeah, okay.
Now, that same thing, you're gonna remove it and you're gonna place it in the middle of the cigar.
Okay.
So as it burns down, when you get to this point, it will keep on burning. It won't go off.
Okay.
And what's left here, which is not the best combustion area, you're gonna place it here. So now it's gonna be balanced. The cigar will burn evenly. That's how you prepare what we call the filler. The amount of leaves we never count. It's muscle memory. I'm trying to make, yeah. Because most of the clients, they ask,
Gracias.
this is how you can tell about the different techniques for plantations. This is a tobacco grown on the sunshine, this is from the shade.
Gracias,
You can touch it
muchacha.
so you can tell.
This is the inside.
Shade grown, sun grown tobacco. You have two different varieties of leaves. They're not the best shade because, well, these are leftovers that we keep here to show. If you are rolling real cigars for these ones, you need a wrapper that takes almost a meter long
Beautiful.
to roll the whole thing.
It's good.
Cheers.
Are you right here? Are you here?
You can pass it around if they want to touch it so you can get familiar with the shape.
It's smooth.
You feel it when you touch it. The wrapper is so silky. And the smell is less
Aromatic?
pungent. Less pungent. Like
Yeah.
herbaceous.
You need some more fire in your
Here's a
cigars.
little bit more chocolatey.
Light up.
Here. Touch it.
You see, you can sense they are fresh.
She said,
They're not aged.
Right.
What most of clients they do when we have here professional clients that have humidors, I think you should have.
We all have humidors.
Either way.
I was guessing, yeah. So
Different it is.
when
See,
you
it is.
have
It's like 5 levels.
I have a lot of cigars at home.
almost a walk-in humidor,
I wish. Oh my god. I have a walk-in liquor store though.
that's how to say all cigar smokers dream. A walk-in humidor.
Oh yes. I'll get there eventually. I started a liquor store first.
So you're getting all the good things in the world.
the smoothness to the wrapper.
Thumbs up.
So in the case,
So now you do the binder.
now I'm gonna prepare the wrapper leaves. The binder, sorry. So this is essential.
Got a special
Filler, the binder is a leaf that's gonna hold the filler. It gives a cylindrical shape and also helps with the combustion. So you cannot use a leaf that looks too dark as a wrapper, as a binder, sorry, because it will affect the combustion of the cigar itself. Now I need to fill the cigar to see if there's any empty space so I can fill it up.
guys are seeing the sizes of the pieces that he uses to fill out the places he knows, right?
Yeah.
It
you
has
never,
to be not too small. Otherwise,
This crap.
you
you
know.
never use these scraps here
Right.
inside the cigar.
Exactly.
The ash is
see
very
that?
No
important.
one likes it too
Only
small.
bad cigars have that shit in
You
it.
can ask that to women.
In Cuba, from the 27 brands we can talk about, there's 2 of them with these scraps inside.
Oh, they just smaller ones?
Also, you have Guantanameras and José de Piedra. These are the 2 brands which have leftovers or scraps inside. The rest of them, they are at least
Long
medium
filler.
side or long filler. Most of them, long filler, are premium cigars. So, the filler goes into the binder. Now, this goes with both hands. If you don't use both hands, the filler might end up twisted. And then the smoke goes in spiral, losing temperature and taste.
It's amazing how it's just like these little details.
And now,
make it
don't make
different
it too tight. You make it tight, but not too tight.
The devil is in the details.
You're the devil.
Indeed, indeed.
So what I'm doing right now here, it looks like this, but no. There's a sound missing right now,
Right.
like what I'm doing this. I'm sliding the cigar to the board. So it's
What is
always one direction, so
What-
it gets tighter. If you do this, you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
If you do this, you're making it tighter.
Sounds simple.
Míralo allí.
Another detail.
That's like
Which one?
step,
What's the other detail? Wasn't even.
Step 400.
not going back and forth,
Ah.
but sliding it.
Now, the most
Otherwise,
important
you're just
thing,
rolling it.
according to the time you're pressing the cigar, is that you need to know that if you make it too tight, the smoke is not coming through. If you make it too loose, the smoke comes too fast and too hot. So there should be a point in between so the smoke can come through in a perfect timing. Now, as we farmers, we don't count with the support of the most of the machines they have in the factories. We need to press cigars. We don't have the press machines, so we're gonna use how to tell. We don't read the news, so we use the newspaper.
Ancient magic.
Oh, so like a piece of paper. When he's at newspaper, I think he's about taking a bundle out and like smush it.
They do it. They do it like as well with the newspaper, like he's doing.
This cigar, it's a lot smoother than the
Oh, that's a good one.
So this will remain like that minimum 2 hours. If you're using the machine, you can put 10 cigars, 25, 45 minutes. Take into account the time inside the machine. If you give too long, then the cigar will end up too tight and you cannot smoke. There will be no draw.
What are the machines doing? Are they squishing it?
Press.
Or
They
are they
squeeze.
pressing
They're
it?
slowly pressing them. There's a screw on top that you can squeeze the cigar and it will keep on pressing.
Because they
Oh,
put
that's like-
molds.
And that just
they
speeds it up a
put
little
Yes.
molds
We're at
Yes.
before.
that
And
have
well,
are made of plastic.
if you use the machine,
So the molds
you can
are
notice
like
it's
that.
smoother. The cigar at the end looks nice.
Cylindrical.
Just using the paper, it helps, and the paper absorbs the humidity, which helps also with the taste. If you forget, for example, the cigar in the machine for too long, it will be too tight. If you forget the cigar inside the paper, a week, the paper will end up yellow
Yeah.
because of the nicotine is taken up.
It's aging,
It's
basically.
aging itself,
Yeah.
so it will be better.
Like cellophane.
But we're not gonna wait a week here, not even an hour. We'll continue.
They get sick, right?
It's like cellophane. It gets yellowed over time. But Cuban cigars don't come in cellophane.
Look at the wrapper.
It's not a perfect one, but well, it can be used.
It could be used
Don't
for
worry,
demonstration
they're not
purposes.
Use it for demonstration. Yeah, you see? So now here I have to remove
See what
it.
you did there?
Devil.
So before we start removing the edges, because in those leaves where the secondary nerves they come to connect to the central nerve down here, they're gonna become thicker. So you need to remove like a centimeter, half a centimeter from down here. In Spanish we call this process desangrado, which is the bleed. There's no blood, but well, there's veins that you're gonna cut. And here on top, they turn too rough and too dry. So you also remove a section over here. So you only keep the center of the leaf.
That's what this knife's for, right? The nice.
This is the chaveta. the most important tool a cigar roller has at the table, and that's the way you can recognize a cigar roller. You are a cigar roller when you have a chaveta you own, because I'm made to fit your hand,
Oh, okay. So it's personalized.
personalized. That's why we have a Spanish phrase, which is never lose a chaveta. When you lose a chaveta, it's like you lose your head, you lose your mind, you become crazy. Because those guys in the factories, when friends they used to do pranks and hide their chavetas, they used to turn crazy looking for them all over the factory. So the phrase was, he lost the chaveta.
He lost a tr-
Perdió la chaveta. O sea, de chavetó.
That's what happens when we take his drink.
Which, by the way, I need another mojito.
See?
You do?
See how it's empty? That means I need another one. That's how.
Gotcha.
That's how that works.
Otro
That's how you
mojito.
can tell.
Both the doers.
¿Y qué
No
pueden hacer?
Canchanchara o duelo.
One canchánchara
Yeah,
por
sorry.
ejemplo.
Can try to- I just need alcohol. It's fine.
Una
Whatever it is.
canchánchara para él.
Just rum.
We drink them all the mojitos.
Dos.
Oh.
Dos canchancharas.
Yeah. It can be wrong.
Just keep them rum straight.
Today is Havana set.
7 años, no.
No.
7 años
Look
algo.
at all the liquor you have.
Is that black tears rum
Canchanchara
over
is
there?
good.
Yes.
Yeah, but eventually, what would I'll drink?
There's the spice one. The spice one.
How about we try that straight?
He wants you to try the black tears, the spice one. Yeah, that's chocolate taste inside.
Ooh, that'll probably pair well.
People that like to pair cigars with those. If the cigars that go from medium lower taste, they like those. So
Let's do that then.
now let's finish the wrapping part of the process. So the cigar, 2 hours in the paper. We remove the paper. And now stretch out the leaf, and as you stretch,
No es más spicy.
But one cigar needs divided in
now massage.
No, is there any way you can reuse the stuff or anything?
Miguel, ¿cuántas canchancharas fueron
Small.
al final?
Yeah.
Too small to place inside.
You don't throw it away. You do something
No,
with
you
it.
put it within this to make the insecticide.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Or you can put it back into the plantation as a compost.
Miguel, ¿cuántas
It will
canchancharas
always
hubo al
work.
final?
Because nothing gets wasted.
Nothing. Of
How
course.
many canchancharas did you want, guys?
Just neat. I mean,
Canchancharas, just one?
Oh, I want it
Oh,
just
one.
by itself.
black tears by itself.
So one
No,
black
dice que
tears
lo que
or
quieren
two?
es el
Two
black,
black
el black
tears.
tear solo.
Two black tears.
Tres. Cuatro black tears.
So you see the cigar's getting in shape now. I'm just giving it the piggy tail termination over here. I'm not using the glue. You know what the glue's made of?
Sap from a tree, right? Something like that. Or a vegetable
It's
paste.
like a cellulose. It's
From a Canadian
the
tree.
full name is. Well, they give you two choices or two possibilities. They give you sap from maple syrup
Or vegetable paste, right?
or cellulose from vegetables,
Yeah.
which is the carboxymethyl cellulose.
When you guys do this, what do you guys use? Like for these?
Yuca.
Yuca? So
Yuca.
vegetable.
From the yuca we make starch, and that's how we stick them together.
Oh, interesting.
You see the cigar? Looks like a cigar, but this one is not smokable because the leaves I placed inside they were too moist. So
You
it
know the
bends
cure.
itself.
Yeah,
So not good to smoke right
You're
away.
saying it's not supposed to bend like that?
How long would you let that sit before you could
You
smoke?
wouldn't do anything.
Well,
It's-
you need to put it inside the vapor again and wait a week,
Oh, okay.
and it might get dry. But once you use moist or humid leaves inside the cigar, it's difficult to dry it out.
yeah. 'Cause that's why you don't put the wrapper on.
You
just do that for
you're just drying the wrapper, not the inside.
like that's not like this.
The wrapper so it almost seals it, like seals the moisture in at
Yes.
that at the time you're rolling it.
But the wrapper is so thin that if you try to dry too much, it will break in your hands. Just touching the cigar and it breaks.
Yeah. Seen that happen. I've definitely done that.
So the levels of humidity to keep it fresh for a long time goes from 65, 72%. That's the perfect humidity for cigars. And well, in case of finding tobacco beetles, which is the cigar lover's curse, have you found some of them?
Yeah. You
They
see the
wait.
holes sometimes.
When you see the holes,
Yeah.
throw
No
away the
good.
cigar, and the other ones which are safe, they are in damage.
That's it.
So plastic bag, top of your fridge with the
The freezer.
freezer, and after 2 days, take a lower level till you get to the bottom of the fridge.
Y tienes acá.
It might take 8 days, the whole process, but you're gonna be safe from tobacco beetle for almost 9 months.
Interesting.
What do you freeze them here?
Oh no, that's just if you find some, some hints of tobacco beetle. If there's 20 cigars and you have one of them with the holes, the rest you save them. That's when you store them at home. But here is, of course, quite probable to get them because you're in the countryside, and they love.
That's very
when you get
sweet.
into the humidor.
Brown sugar with caramel.
When you put your cigars in the humidor, is when they really hatch. But they love it.
Yeah. Perfect
They-
environment for them.
Is it
Perfect
licorice?
environment, humidity perfect, temperature is perfect, so they love it.
And it does, like
Creamy?
it doesn't. The temperature doesn't vary much.
Drinking the same
That's why you
yeah?
need to check your
Have you
cigars
had it
every
before?
5-6 months in the humidor.
never
In
had it
case if
before?
you're not smoking every day, every 5-6 months you need to open the humidor to check
Very
if
fruity.
there's no
Chocolatey.
tobacco beetles attacking your
We were
cigars.
talking about like when you have a lot, like I have a lot, I take them out, I rotate them, I put them back.
Hey, because
Turn
sometimes
them.
you get some fungus also growing on
Right.
your cigars.
Yeah, you gotta check
You
them.
just clean them
They're
up.
Very
they're a breathing, living a thing.
Get chocolate caramel.
Very. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
This is a rum maybe for light cigars.
Yeah. What would these be?
See, there's like a medium to
this
light.
goes
Light to
from
medium.
medium light. It will be something lower than Ramon Ayones, lower taste. From Romeo and Juliet, a little bit higher.
Like a Monte Cristo.
Monte Cristo will be a little bit stronger.
Disappointed at his cigar. How was it lit? Are you disappointed at it?
Yes.
This is
You know
burning
why
perfectly.
this is hot?
I did
You know why is
disappoint.
this hot going on?
This is poorly lit in the
This
beginning.
thing.
You gotta touch it up. There's a
Yeah.
lighter around here. Right there in front of you.
That one's not working.
Ellos llevan varios días entrenando to see if they can.
So it's
I was
important.
so captivated by this. I wasn't
It's
paying
important to
attention.
always rotate to
Right.
make sure the cigar burns around. That's how you make sure you're gonna get a nice ash. Also, you're smoking exposed beer,
Right.
so there's
The
wind blowing from every direction. That's why you keep on always rotating.
Right.
Rotate. Like your cigar.
I've read. Do you purge the cigar ever?
Yeah, is that a thing here? Purge. I know what it's
What's
like
the purge a cigar?
Purge would be to,
Y canchacha.
when you're smoking it, just every now and again to
low
No.
Really?
No.
purging.
I
I
do.
mean,
but
remember, what we learned is that there's an etiquette way to light a cigar. If you do, you do. But it's not the way it should be done in a cigar lounge. That's it. But whenever you put the cigar inside your mouth without the food completely lit, it's not well
No,
seasoned.
no, I'm saying after you smoke it. Let's say I smoke it to here, and then I blow and purge it. And it's I've read and that it's supposed to kind of, I don't want to say change the flavors, but it almost like clears it.
I've never heard of that.
You usually do that. Say like your
Ellos dicen,
I have to do that a lot
purging-
because I
purge the
smoke.
cigar
I
que
have to
cuando
do
va
that a
con
fair
la mitad,
amount
soplan
to keep it
para
lit.
mejorar el sabor.
A ver,
Because I smoke so slow.
Yo
So
nunca
say-
he escuchado eso.
here we are, not me. There's a professional here. He's not today, Nicolas. He's 30 years in experience smoking and making cigars. So this guy, he never does this. He just smokes.
Right. It's not you don't do it every time. Usually you do it when you get started to the bottom and it's maybe like starting to get like a bad flavor.
It's the
Yes.
first time I
And
hear
so
that.
you blow.
That's why I'm telling
You and you're basically it's called purging, and that's to maybe change it back to good.
Maybe it works because as you go on smoking your cigar, all the oil that you have in this area is going to get concentrated down here. That's why it gets too strong.
Right.
Because the fire is close to your lips and all the oil has been moving down. Some burned and some moving backwards. So maybe that's the reason why it gets too strong in this area. And that will be good to purge. But
Right. That's
I've never heard of that.
it's not something you do every time you smoke, but it's sometimes like
Normally don't do it too
and the flavor changes too much, maybe.
yeah, like when if it starts getting like a bad flavor, you do that to maybe help it go back to being good. It's just like a tactic to maybe try to fix the cigar. But you do that maybe once out of every 20 cigars you smoke. You know what I mean?
I will ask the master here when he comes back again to work. See what he tells. So well, here, as you can see, we have our cigars. We have different categories of them. These ones,
Robusto?
robustos, but the combination inside of these is lighter than that.
Okay.
These are like a Romeo and Juliet or even lower. Maybe goes to Hoyo de Monterrey. It's something
So light.
light. This is maybe for
Yeah, where's the Bolivars?
Beginners.
the Bolivars. I think we farmers we don't get to make those. The stronger one we can make here is this, the Mexiques, but we don't make similar to the government because to get the medio tiempo leaves, we have only one plantation.
Of course.
In the government case, they have all plantations in Pinar del Río available for them, so they can have all the medio tiempo leaves they want. Now, in the case of this, we have Mexiques that are medium strong, not real strong like should
But
be.
that's the strongest cigars you guys have here.
The ones we have here, yes.
All right.
The Mexiques. We have these ones.
This
we
is
like to
52?
put- Yes. This is 60.
Este es el 58.
No, this is here we call it 60.
No,
but
but
if
this one,
this will be like a 56.
a 56.
56. This is like a 60. We call it here, but I don't think it's a real 60. Because to do the measure, to calculate the diameter of one cigar, el simple, the 60, the 58, the 56, you know how it works?
Yeah. The diameter.
You know how you get to
gauge.
1 inch? 1 inch of diameter is equal to 64.
Okay.
So if I say 60, you need to do the whole math thing. 64 over 60 of 1 inch.
Gotcha.
That's how you get that diameter. So, taking 1 inch, this is not getting to 60, I think. This might be 58, as he said. But well, we like to call this one 60 here. Because 60 was invented in the south of Pinar del Río by Hector Luis, and people like to call it the beast. So it's a
Hector
nice
Luis
name
is
for a
where I
cigar.
want to take you 2 years from now.
Very strong, huh?
Yeah, the beast. So we have the Mexiques, we have the 60s, we have these ones which are similar to Esplendidos, a little bit in size. So here, a package of this. We have 10 cigars in every package. If you go to the factories, a cigar like this, a Robusto, if it's a Romeo and Juliet, it might cost $15, $18, $20. If it's a Monte Cristo, it goes $25, $30. But if it's a Cohiba, it's $70. Here, well, what I'm talking, you smoke more than me, so. So here we sell the whole package like this. I también inventa los cañonazos. Okay, because we don't have these ones you're smoking right now for
For
sale on
sale.
the table, but we can sell them.
Oh, you just
In
have
case
them.
if you ask, we have them stuck here because only
I'm gonna want some of these.
people
Yeah,
who
these
like
are
them, they ask for them. We don't show them every time here. We call those cañonazos, big cannon.
good. These?
Yeah. I know in US there's a bigger one called Gorilla Sticks.
Oh, we
They
have
are
some.
they are
stupid
70
sticks.
ring gauge.
Well, then there's the Churchill. Well, no, there's cigars that are like stupid big, but it's not common. That's like a joke.
Yeah. That's just to get a lot of smoke for a couple of hours.
All day, you're out there all day.
So here we sell the bundle like this. 10 of these cigars we sell them on $90, 9 per cigar. 10 like this we sell them on 120. These we also do 120. The bundle, so it's 12 per cigar. These ones are 140, 150. And these 10, 90. In a cedarwood box is 100. The same cigars in a box.
Gotcha.
And well, we have the cañonazos. Those ones we also sell them on 15.
How much
Same
are these?
15 per cigar, so it's 150, the bundles of those, like the Mexiques. For us, they are quite similar in taste, but we love those because they don't have the piggy tail termination. We don't like too much the piggy tail, at least for the consumption, because in the piggy tail, you must cut. If you try to poke a hole, it's
Because
uncomfortable.
then it's gonna still poke out.
So in the case of the hat, the professional way, people they love it because you can poke a hole, you can bite. It gives you plenty of possibilities. Well, let you think it over. In case if you need something, let me know, okay? Besides cigars, we also produce coffee here in beans. We also have honey. And we have the rum, the vitamin R. This is original from here, from Pinar del Rio.
Are we drinking that? No, we're not.
What did you call it? The vitamin R?
Vitamin R. It's a vitamin. It helps the languages. When you finish drinking this, there's a fruit inside, a little guava fruit. That's why the name is Guayabita del Pinar. It's original from this area. This fruit, it only grows here. So you make a liquor out of the guava, put some sugarcane alcohol, and then, well, finish drinking this and eat the fruit. You're going to speak Spanish.